Okay, so this is the thing. I was thinking today with regards to the perps. Um, I mean, they taunted me again. It's mainly the kids, but it doesn't matter. What I was thinking was what happens every winter when I normally leave the house or when I normally leave my home to go to London. Usually what happens is that when I leave my home to go to London, part of my electricity is stolen. I'm pretty sure that it's over £1,000 over the years that's been stolen from me in terms of energy, right? Um, but my thing is this, right? What I was thinking is that you're upstairs talking all kinds of big black woman this and mad woman that and fat woman that and trying to come up with slurs without slurs. You've done all these hateful things. You've broken into my home. You've contaminated my things. You've committed multiple hate crimes, stalking and harassment, breaking and entering. You've committed smear campaigns, gotten away with all of that, and you can't even afford to heat your house? You can't even afford to heat your house. You can barely afford to feed your family. You can barely afford to clothe your family. You can barely afford to get shower gel for yourself because you stole one of my shower gels out of my flat. You can barely afford that. And the shit is about to get worse. So you mean to tell me you're doing all this extra shit and you have nothing to show for it? And this is where I stick the knife in and twist. Okay. This is where I start to do that, because the only reason why I get electricity that doesn't shut off is because I've been falsely diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Energy companies do this thing where if you are vulnerable enough, you can be given grace and have your electricity continue to be on, because some disabled people need that. Now, because of my false diagnoses as a paranoid schizophrenic person, that's what I have been given. I have been deemed vulnerable enough to need energy and need heat all the time. And that's as a direct result of the gang stalking. That's as a direct result of psychiatry falsifying my illnesses for themselves in order to what? Cover up for gang stalking? That's why my energy is still running. I am thousands of pounds in debt right now. I'm thousands of pounds in debt. That is the only reason why my energy is still running and I'm thousands of pounds in debt, is because I have been diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. And here's the joke now. Every single time I apply for benefits, or I talk to my energy company, or I talk to my phone company, I talk to anybody that I pay bills to, I am very careful not to say that I have paranoid schizophrenia. What I am careful to say is that I have borderline, I have ADHD, I have autism, self-diagnosed, but I have all these things. I'm very careful to say that I have these things. I'm very careful to say that I'm anemic. I'm very careful to say that I have sciatica. I'm very careful to say all of these things. But when it comes to the paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis, I never say I have it. I always say I am diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. But as soon as the words paranoid schizophrenic comes up, guess what? They don't take it seriously. You can say that you don't believe that the paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis is real. You can say that. You can say that until you're blue in the face. They're not going to take you seriously, because as soon as people hear the words paranoid schizophrenia, they're going to assume anything that comes out of your mouth is a fucking joke. That's how I've been able to get, grace on my bills, and especially on my electric bill. That's how I've been able to keep warm. I've been keeping warm off gang stalker lies. And the only way out of that is for people to tell the truth about everything that's going on, for our government to tell the truth about what's going on, about everything that has been done to me, and for me to be fully and properly compensated on everything that's been stolen from me and everything that's been done to me. That is the only way out of this. You mean to tell me you have, you've been paid to fuck with me, and yet the people that hired you to fuck with me didn't tell you that? You mean to tell me you're supposed to be the sane one and I'm supposed to be the mad one? Or, you have mental illnesses when it suits you. You didn't know that? Nobody told you? You didn't know that? Nobody fucking told you? This is what happens when you try to paint somebody madder than you are. This is what the fuck happens. You have to steal off their electric. Like a fucking idiot. This is, you have to steal off their electric like a fucking moron. So like, and it's getting worse. The whole thing is getting worse. Bills are going up. Quality is going down. More homeless are out there. More people freezing are out there. People are literally being genocided. The healthcare is going down the Swanee. All of this is deliberate so that foreign investors can buy shit up. Whilst everybody out here is being hateful for peanuts. If they get anything at all. Once again, you couldn't pay me to be that fucking stupid. But I'm as broke as everyone else here. I'm as broke as everyone else here. But this is what happens when you're jealous and you're hateful. How many people are calling me a nutter with their teeth chattering? You seem to think this shit is a joke. You seem to think this shit is a joke. I've been telling the perps they've been going cheap. I've been telling the perps they've been going cheap. I've been saying that shit. But once again, that paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis kicks in and nobody takes you seriously. All right, cool. I'm going to be mad and warm. I'm going to be fucking like, well, if there is a hex on my tarot readings, there probably is. I'm going to be hexed and fucking warm. I'm going to be fucking black, fat, and fucking warm. I'm going to be queer and fucking warm. I'm going to be a targeted individual and be fucking warm. I'm going to be diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic and be fucking warm. Imagine you had all that privilege to be fucking hateful and none of your bosses fucking told you. If you were vulnerable enough, you too could have a warm flat this winter. As long as your electricity isn't shut off, as long as you're vulnerable. But nah. It was way more important to everyone to disrespect me. This is what the fuck you get. Imagine all those years you stole electricity from me every winter. You could have had that in your own flat. Stealing money I ain't got. You could have had that for yourself. But no, you want to run your mouth and play Billy Big Bollocks. That's what the fuck you get. That's what the fuck you get. All those mornings terrorizing me and terrorizing my shit. That's what the fuck you get. I don't feel bad for you. It is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. Know what I mean? So this is what happens when you're a miserable soul who just needs somebody else to be as miserable as you. This is what happens. And as for that magic, by the way, that magic thing, There are so many things you could have done. You could have cast spells to, make yourselves warm, or give yourselves some money, or like, have more friends around you, or like you could have spent your energy trying to make yourselves happy. But you decided that my misery was worth more. I will never understand that. For the life of me, I will never understand it. Like, what kind of victimhood do you think you're under, where you think you have the right to make somebody else miserable because they're not miserable enough? That is such cunt behavior. I don't know if I can quantify that. You could have done anything. You could have done anything. You could have done so much, so many wonderful, positive things for yourselves. But no, you decided to be miserable. Like, I will never understand that. What else was I going to bring up? It wasn't just that. What else was I going to bring up? Like, apart from the fucking, yeah. But that's what gang stalking is. Just miserable. Miserable shit. Miserable shit. And everybody has to pay for the misery. Everybody has to pay for it. And as for the constant excuses that I'm single and I don't have this and I don't have that. Why the fuck is what I have or don't have your fucking business anyway? This is what it gets you. This is what you get when you're hateful and you don't mind your business. Chops. I can't remember what I was going to say. Getting older is so wonderful. It's so wonderful. I can't fucking remember. That's going to upset me. Oh my God. That's going to upset me. Oh yeah, I remember now. So I don't know if you guys, like, for those guys who watched my video yesterday, like, I had a complete crash out the whole day. And I said that, like, when I get that angry, usually there isn't a violent crime far behind. Let me tell you something, right? I've heard like 4 separate sirens over the weekend. I feel like what's going on is brain frequency modulation. It kicks up a gear during Saturdays and Sundays, especially Saturdays, because that's a perfect cover to have disorder, right? So that's a perfect cover to cause disorder on the weekends. So that's the perfect time to do it, because like, if it's Saturday in Brighton, nobody's going to give a fuck, right? Even if it's Friday or Sunday in Brighton, if something kicks off, nobody gives a fuck. Everybody's going to be expecting that. So I feel like brain frequency modulations en masse are being manipulated every weekend in major cities. So that if something kicks off because of those augmented frequencies, and if police are more violent than usual, then it's taken for granted that that's just supposed to happen. Do you understand what I mean? I feel like, weekends are a perfect cover for these weapons to be used and to take effect more strongly. It's better used during the weekends, and I also believe during winter, because when it comes to directed energy weapon torture, when your body is cold, your skin tightens and everything contracts. So when you're attacked with directed energy weapons, the pain increases because you're like, everything is already tight and contracted. And then when the electronic weapons come in, it augments the pain, like it increases the pain. So for me, winter, like, from what I believe and from what I've observed over the years with regards to directed energy weapons and how they work, it's winter, and it is on the weekends, or on, not on holidays, but like on the weekends, and where the days are colder. Because also, with regards to the cold, when it's colder, then thermal imaging is easier. It's easier for thermal imaging to capture you when it's colder. It doesn't mean you can't be horrifically tortured in summer. That's happened to me before. That happens to God knows how many TIs. So it's not like you can't be horrifically tortured in summer as well. But if it's in winter and if it's during the weekends, then there's more cover. Do you understand what I'm saying? And speaking of cover, when I was having that crash out and I was basically punching the wall with my fists, and I was doing that, I can't even lie. Like the crash out was spectacular and it was the entire day. Anybody in my head who got even remotely in my crosshairs, I wanted to fight that bitch. Like in my head, not out in public, but in my head, right? Full crash out. I noticed one of my neighbors, right, has gone out and basically told everyone, oh, she's scaring me. Oh, like I'm scared for my life, all that type of bollocks, right? So this person, like one of the neighbors who went out telling everybody that, they had an escort bring them home, right? So the way it was supposed to work is that I wasn't supposed to come online and admit what I'd done and admit where it came from. I wasn't supposed to admit that the family hadn't really said anything to me like that. I wasn't supposed to come online and tell the truth. I don't understand why they keep expecting me to lie. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like they came on, they really expected me to come online and lie and said that these people have been bothering me all day, that they've been, if they haven't been doing that, then why am I going to say that? These people really came online and expected me to be like, yeah, they've been bothering me all day. They hadn't done anything like that. They've been keeping their mouths shut. Apart from one like opportunity to try to turn a slur into not a slur or whatever it is the fuck they do because they're hateful little shits. Apart from that one time, and I do mean one time, they hadn't said shit to me the whole day yesterday. The only time when they started kicking off is when I came on my live and I said that I've been crashing out all day and these people hadn't done a thing to me. That's when these kids started crashing out and started yelling and screaming that I didn't blame them for anything or that I said that we hadn't done anything. Like, so it makes me think that that crash out was being used as an opportunity for like one of the neighbors upstairs to go around to the village and say, I'm scared for my life. I'm scared that she'll kill me. I've already said this person's too worthless to kill. I've already said that. So why am I going to go back on that? So like they've already run around and said, oh, they're about to kill me. I'm scared for my life. I'm scared, and I'm pretty sure that they've been walking around saying that I have a vendetta against the children. First of all, I don't like them fucking kids, right? Fuck them kids for real. But they are still kids. They are still children. I can get as short as I want to get. It does not change that fact. It does not change that fact. It does not change the fact that at this moment, they are children. It doesn't change anything. And I don't understand why they keep needing to go down this angle. I've already lost my temper in front of these children several times. I've already lost. That was all you needed. You didn't need to be like, oh, they're about to kill my children. What the fuck, first of all? What kind of fucking monster would even want to do that? That's crazy shit. There was no need to like paint this picture of, oh, I'm scared for my life. I'm scared she's going to kill me and my family or my kids or whatever. Like there was no need for that. I've already lost. I already said to the kids the first year that you moved in here that if they didn't shut up, I was going to fuck you up. I've already lost. You did not need to do that. You did not need to do that. That was not necessary. So I believe with regards to the crash out yesterday, which had absolutely nothing to do with upstairs and everything to do with the weaponized frequency modulation, I believe that the neighbors upstairs have been going around the village saying, I'm scared for my life. I'm scared for my kids' lives. Oh, she won't leave us alone. Oh, she's baiting us and she hates us and she's got a vendetta against my family. That crash out yesterday had nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them, or almost nothing. More, it was an amalgamation of them, other fucking perps that I've had to deal with, you know, all the other shit that I've been through in my life. So it was an amalgamation. These perps up here keep thinking they're the main fucking characters, and they're not. They want to be the main characters of my life, the life of somebody that they don't know from a can of paint. So fucking bad. And I'm trying to understand where this comes from. Just miserable as fuck. Why do you need to be the main event in my life so bad? And why am I the main event in yours? You don't know me like that. And I don't know you like that. What the fuck is going on? But that's what I believe has happened. I did a lot of fucking going all around the houses and stuff like that. But the main thing is this. I had a crash out yesterday that was augmented, that was not natural. And I believe that that crash out was used as an opportunity to say that I had a vendetta against this family, even though they're the ones bothering me. Usual shit. And they wanted to make out like I was in a rage and angry yesterday because of that one thing some idiot upstairs said. And it's the same thing that they've said a million times. It's the same thing they've said a million times. Crash out over that? I don't think so. And I only said it once. So what's the fucking point? And I believe it was this whole using that crash out as a cover, why the children upstairs went crazy and why they started screaming and why they started yelling about the fact that I wouldn't lie. It's because I wasn't supposed to come online and talk about that tantrum. I wasn't supposed to come online and tell the truth. I wasn't supposed to come online and like be right about the fact that, yeah, if I'm getting that upset, it's not coming from me. It's coming from a weaponized frequency modulation, which is being used en masse across the city. Probably across the fucking country. And if it's being used across the country, then yeah, violent crimes aren't far behind. And I was fucking right. I said, if there's going to be any violent crimes, it's not going to be because of me. Why do I hear two sirens? Two separate times that night after my live. And during this live, how many separate times did I hear sirens? It's okay, I'll wait. It's okay, I'll wait. But yeah, I believe there was an attempt to, I think like the day before on Friday when the family were basically throwing the kitchen sink, like just throwing the kitchen sink at everything, like bringing up bringing up my dead mother, like, you know, the racism and, you know, the stupid impressions, like they were throwing the whole kitchen sink in a desperate attempt to get me to crash out. So it didn't work. And then on Saturday, I had that full day crash out, like with me punching the wall and stuff. And I feel like that was used as an opportunity to, you know, because they hadn't done anything that day, that was used as an opportunity to say, you know, I'm scared for my life. I'm scared. Like, bitch, I don't care about you. Your bosses don't even care enough about you to keep you and your family safe and warm and trouble free. Fuck off. Nobody cares about you like that. And the people who do care about you, they only care about you because you know, they don't like darkies. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason why anybody's rallying around you is because they're racist as fuck. And that's it. If that wasn't the case, then why wouldn't they come and ask me directly what was going on instead of just fucking believing you? People believe what they want to believe and they side with who they want to side with. With black perps, it was because of my mental illness and my neurodivergence. They used that to justify what they were doing. Same with brown folks. Brown folks, they had the anti-black and the anti-neurodivergent thing going on with brown perps. With white perps, racism. Simple. Simple. Because why would nobody ask me? Why would nobody ask me what was going on? These people around this village have seen my social media several times. They've seen my social media several times. They know that I don't play. They know that whatever's going on, I'm going to say things right off the bat. Why not come to me with it then? Why not come to me with it then? Why not actually like launch an investigation, a community investigation as to what's going on? Sure, it would be a fucking witch hunt. Because we all know how witch hunts operate. You always target people who are loners, right? Lone single women who are older. I know how these fucking things go, but if you were serious, you would have confronted me directly. And if you were going to delude yourself that I was lying, you could at least have the knowledge of that, you know, I could at least have the knowledge that you were doing it face to face. If you're going to delude yourself, be open with it. Do it with your fucking chest. If you're going to delude yourself that I'm guilty and that I'm the big bad that this family have set up, do it with your fucking chest. Come to me and actually ask me what the fuck is going on rather than just believing these people. But you want to believe these people because they're white and they're skinny and they're vulnerable. Because they're white, skinny and vulnerable. And you got cuteness aggression when it comes to the kids. It's like I said, human beings are trash because they will weaponize their marginalization when it's convenient. But then when it comes to, you know, their privilege, they're willing to use that at a moment's notice when it comes to people they want to be bigoted against. I've seen that with every single race of person. I'm the type of person, like when I was a kid, I never used to really see color like that until I was told. I never used to see color until I was told. That's the type of person that I am. And the only reason why I've ever brought up race so much throughout my life is because other people demanded that I see it. But this is what I've learned. Race regardless, you are all fucking trash. Gender regardless. Sexuality regardless. Political affiliations regardless, because you will all do the same thing, just in varying degrees. Just because one of you is a filet mignon and the other one is a half-eaten apple, it doesn't mean you're not still trash. If you're in the dumpster, you're in the dumpster. You're still fucking trash. All of you, every single person of every color, you're fucking trash. All of you. And with these white fucking perps and the white flying monkeys, it's racism. Simple as that. Masculinizing a black woman, saying she looks like a man just because she's got fucking short hair and she's big. Suddenly she looks like a man. Yeah, racism. Fuck off with that. Brillo pad, get the fuck out my damn face. That's the reason why these white flying monkeys believe this idiot ass family. It's because they're fucking racist and anti-black. Simple. Simple as. Just like my black perps were ableist. Ableist as fuck. Disgustingly ableist. Just like brown perps were not only anti-black and ableist, they were anti-black and ableist and sexist and arrogant. Like I said, it doesn't matter what race somebody is. You are all fucking trash. And gang stalking, nothing will ever teach you that like gang stalking teaches you. It's just that varying degrees of trash and the different ways that trash comes out. Trash is trash though. Ain't no change in that. Ain't no change in that. So in this particular case, your white fragility, like the white fragility of these people keeps getting them fucked up every single time. Every single time. It's that, that racism and that ableism is the reason why my house is warm and yours isn't. How does it feel being sane? Or being seen as sane, and not being seen as paranoid schizophrenic? How does that shit feel? How does it feel now? You feel powerful? Mm-hmm. Trash. All of you. And now I've got to go because this mic is about to run out. I've got to charge this baby. I've got to charge this phone. Oh, Lord. Okay. Got to figure out how I'm going to charge things now. So, yeah. You guys take care and I will see you another time. My fellow TIs, I love you. Stay strong. Stay blessed. Marsha the Great out. Mwah. Bye-bye.